Hey everyone, my name is Taylor and I would like to welcome you to my research presentation on strawberries. So throughout this presentation, I will be discussing the following topics listed on this slide. I won't list them now as this is just to provide you with an outline of what will be covered. So to start off, let's take a look at my personal and cultural relationship with strawberries. So in my personal life, strawberries hold sentimental memories of my upbringing. My dad's best friend runs a farming business in my local town of Port Hope. Every year, my mother and I would go to their farm and pick baskets of strawberries. Not only did this activity pose as a bonding experience with my mother, but it also provided us with the opportunity to support local businesses and catch up with fellow community members. Once we returned home from our picking, we would wash and slice the strawberries for future use in our summer brunches, smoothies, and for snacking purposes. The leftover strawberries would then be stored in the freezer for preservation, so they would be accessible in the colder months when strawberries were no longer in season. Since my grandmother has difficulties with mobility and the physical exertion required to pick, we would drop off baskets of berries at her house, and I would spend the day with her making strawberry jam and preparing the berries for her famous pies. My grandmother is an amazing baker, and I am so fortunate to have had the opportunity to bake alongside her. In terms of cultural relevance, my grandmother is of Christian faith, and in this religion, the strawberry is representative of goodness and purity, posing as a symbol of the Virgin Mary. In addition, the green leaves of the strawberry plant are associated with the color of life. Growing groups of three, which is symbolic of the Holy Trinity, produce white flowers, which indicate the purity of Jesus' life, and are a deep red color that represent the blood Jesus sacrificed on the cross. So for the next topic, we will cover geographical origins and origin stories. So in terms of geographic origins, strawberries are native to the temperate regions of North America and the Northern Hemisphere. Wild strawberries are quite diverse and are able to grow in a wide range of habitats, from open woodlands to meadows and even sand dunes. During the 18th century, the cultivated large-fruited strawberry variety, that is an ancestor of the varieties we commonly use today, was hybridized with two other strawberry species in Europe. And how did this occur, you may ask? More information on this will be covered in an upcoming section, so hang tight. In addition, some of the common North American species consist of the Virginia wild strawberry, the coastal strawberry, and to the right, I included a map depicting the geographic origins and introduced ranges of different strawberry varieties throughout the world. As you can see, strawberries are rare in the Southern Hemisphere and make up a large portion of North America and Europe. So origin stories. So the strawberry moon is the sixth moon of creation and is the first berry offered to Anishinaabe from the creator. The Anishinaabe creation story for strawberries is described as the Odaman creation story. There are many renditions of this story with slight variations in how it is told, but each of them surround a common theme and idea. One telling that I had encountered in my research was from an Anishinaabe grandmother's perspective, as she discusses the quarrel between a husband and wife that resulted in the wife running away. On her trek, after stumbling across a strawberry plant strategically placed by the creator, the woman tasted the sweet berry and remembered her love for her husband. Once her husband had caught up to her, they amended their relationship by sharing the berries with each other. Thus, strawberries are symbolic of the kindness to be shared with the people they love and care for, which is also why the strawberry is called the heartberry. Furthermore, the story reflects the connections between emotions, spirit, body, and mind, and the importance of keeping your life in balance. Traditionally, the strawberry is a sacred entity that is used in indigenous medicine, beadwork, teachings, and ceremonies. All right, so now let's look at the historical and contemporary practices of growing, harvesting, and its uses. Okay, so rather than for food and consumption purposes, first century AD Romans used strawberries as an ornament and in artistic pieces, like the photo on the left where the strawberry design borders the painting. In the 1300s, strawberries began to be cultivated in Europe for medicinal purposes. And around the same time, the French began transplanting the wood strawberry variety from wilderness into local gardens. It is important to note that the wild strawberry variety propagate through runners rather than individual plants, like we see in present-day production. It was not until 1714 that the Chilean variety was introduced into France from indigenous harvesters in Chile. This specific variety was very large in size compared to earlier species, which made it that much more valuable to European growers. After its arrival in Europe, the two strains were crossed to create our present day variety. Interestingly, all modern strawberry varieties have descended from this crossing. So, in comparing these historical practices to the present day contemporary practices, quite a few differences exist. After conducting an interview with a strawberry farmer with 6 years' experience, he provided me with some insight on his personal experience in strawberry planting and harvesting. Planting at his farm occurs in the spring, where a tractor is used to build large mounds on a dusty field that separate plant rows and elevates the plant for irrigation purposes, and so that flooded water doesn't damage the plants. Next, two water lines and a decomposing plant wrap is laid over the elevated surface. And the reason that a water line is put inside the wrap is so that minimal water needs to be drawn and less is wasted. Condensation builds on the inside of the plastic, creating a hot, humid environment for these plants. Once that has been done, it is time to plant the strawberry. Each spring, strawberries are planted by hand at his farm. The strawberry plants are pushed through the hole in the wrap, and the roots are pushed deep into the earth to allow the top to be clearly visible to the sun. The holes are evenly spaced so that there's no competition for the nutrients and water between plants. And once the fruits have ripened and are ready for harvest, vehicles that fit over the rows are used to pick them for production. So it's the fastest way, and oftentimes migrant workers are hired to complete the whole process. So, in terms of contemporary uses, strawberry production and harvesting has become a commercialized industry to produce food and drink items, artificial flavoring, aroma, scents, as well as body care products. So, the next topic is associated environmental, cultural, social, political, and economic issues. So, from an environmental standpoint, some of the major issues affecting the growth, harvesting, and production of this fruit includes pesticide drift that contain chemicals known to deplete the ozone layer, runoff from fertilizers, which can contribute to a nutrient imbalance within the ecosystem, erosion from the alleyways and bare ground between the strawberry rows, and air pollution from fumigation practices. So similarly, some of the social issues regarding this fruit pertains to the health concerns of pesticide usage when growing strawberries. The pesticides used in strawberry production include some of the most potent and highly toxic chemicals, such as methyl bromide, which acts as a sterilizer for soils and insecticide to kill any insects, microorganisms, and weeds. This chemical has been shown to cause neurological disorders, kidney dysfunction, and lung damage from inhalation, but has yet to be classified under the Environmental Protection Agency as a carcinogen due to lack of sufficient data and research. So, throughout research, one of the main political issues currently affecting this food involves alterations to immigration policies that seasonal migrant workers are facing during this COVID-19 pandemic. With stricter requirements and regulations imposed by the Canadian government, farmers are experiencing gaps in labor, production, and harvesting of these summer berries, while also trying to balance the new health and safety protocols related to sanitization and physical distancing. This mirrors the political issues surrounding the production of strawberries during the winter months, as Canada relies heavily on imported strawberries from Mexico and the United States to sustain our country's off-season demand. In a report from last year, the US strawberry industry suffered from concerns of safety and availability of employees on farms, as the US Embassy in Mexico had suspended and delayed processing of visas, including those for temporary agricultural workers. All right, so now that we've covered these associated issues, let's move things over to a more lighter note and look at the micro and macronutrients found within this food. The main macronutrient found within strawberries is, most obviously, carbohydrates, with 7.7 grams, and much of these carbs come from sugar and fiber. In addition, there are trace amounts of fat and protein. However, these amounts can be considered minor in comparison. For micronutrients, strawberries are a great source of vitamin C, as a 100-gram serving provides 98% of the recommended dietary allowance. Strawberries also contain trace amounts of other vitamins and minerals, but predominantly consist of manganese, folate, and potassium. So continuing on with this idea, for my final topic, I will be discussing the impact strawberries have on human health and overall well-being. From a westernized perspective, a study on the impact of strawberry consumption on human health revealed promising findings. Backed with scientific evidence from experimental research, this study focused on the administration of strawberries to healthy volunteers for a 1-month period to assess the impact that strawberry consumption had on lipid profiles, antioxidant capacity, platelet function. Results showed that strawberries contain a high concentration of vitamin C, in addition to anthocyanins, which are a type of plant chemical with antioxidant effects. Moreover, these results present implied health benefits, especially towards those with cardiovascular health issues and disease. These health benefits consist of anti inflammatory effects, blood sugar regulation, improved plasma lipid profile, reduction in bad cholesterol, improved antioxidant status, anti-hemolytic defenses, and the enhancement of platelet function. So from an indigenous standpoint, strawberries plants present both nutritional and medicinal benefits. While wild strawberries have great spiritual and cultural importance, as it is used in teachings and ceremonies related to womanhood and bringing new life to the world. Some of these ceremonial traditions pertain to the cleansing and revitalization of women's health. For example, in Mohawk tradition, strawberries are associated with blood purification and medicinal cleansing during the female menstrual cycle, and this is to remove accumulated impurities and toxins from the body. Strawberries are also symbolic of life and health, with deep roots connected to the Haudenosaunee creation story, as I have described earlier. Thus, strawberries play a key role in not only physical health, but spiritual health as well. The plant, in its entirety, is often used to treat digestive and urinary disorders, such as diarrhea and dysentery. The leaves of the strawberry plant are used as an astringent to treat skin ailments, while boiled stems and roots are used as a mouthwash for sore throats, mouth sores, stain removal, and historically, to treat scurvy for its rich vitamin C content. So as you can see, strawberries serve a much greater purpose than once thought. As illustrated throughout this presentation, this fruit demonstrates significant importance in my own life and family traditions, not to mention the physical and spiritual health benefits they provide. The processes associated with strawberry production and harvesting experience a wide range of political, social, economic, and environmental issues that directly impact the engagement and use of this food. To conclude, I encourage you to take the time to reflect on how your engagement and use of strawberries differs or aligns with my own experience, and consider how this may impact your own life. Miigwech, and thank you for watching my presentation. I look forward to hearing your feedback and suggestions, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your semester.